Every angle, every bounce, every pause gets slowed down, zoomed in, and dissected by people with Wi-Fi and too much time. That's not hate. That's the era we live in. And right now, Cardi B is learning, yet again, that fame doesn't just watch you shine, it watches you sweat. It's gossip culture back at it again, and this time, the conversation isn't about music, men, or money. It's about bodies, performance, and perception. Now here's where it gets spicy. As Cardi B gears up for her upcoming tour, rehearsal clips started circulating online. Normal, right? Artists rehearse, fans react. But instead of just talking choreography and stamina, a loud section of the internet locked in on one thing, her body. More specifically, fans are suggesting that Cardi B's BBL might be affecting her movement and performance, allegedly. And once that narrative caught fire, there was no stopping it. The clips in question show Cardi dancing, practicing transitions, and moving through routines that clearly require endurance and flexibility. But fans believe they noticed something else, what they describe as her BBL dropping or shifting lower than before. Social media timelines immediately turned into anatomy class meets roast session. Comments started flying, comparisons started forming, and Cardi B's name was suddenly trending for reasons that had nothing to do with her bars. But wait, there's more. This didn't stay in the realm of quiet concern or neutral observation. The internet did what it always does. It compared. And the name that kept popping up? Bia. Fans began drawing parallels, saying Cardi better get that BBL up or she'll end up looking like Bia. Now, whether that's fair, foul, or flat out delusional is a whole separate conversation, but it tells you everything about how ruthless these beauty standards are. Let's pause right there, because this isn't just about Cardi. This is about how women in hip-hop are boxed into impossible expectations. You're supposed to be natural but enhanced, athletic but thick, sexy but agile, and somehow defy gravity forever. And if your body changes even a little, caught in 4K, no grace period, no context, just memes. Still, fans defending this conversation claim they're not hating, they're concerned. They argue that touring is physically demanding, and if something is affecting Cardi's ability to move comfortably, then it's worth talking about. Some even suggest she might need a revision or adjustment before hitting the stage full time. Allegedly. But here's the question nobody wants to answer. Why is the burden always on women to surgically fix themselves instead of the industry adjusting its expectations? And let's not ignore the timing. Cardi is already under pressure. New tour, public scrutiny, non-stop commentary about her personal life. Now add body surveillance to the mix. Fans are breaking down freeze frames like it's the Zapruder film. That's not support, that's obsession. Damn. What makes this even messier is that Cardi hasn't publicly addressed these claims. No clapback, no clarification, no jokes. Silence. And in celebrity culture, silence is gasoline. Fans believe if she doesn't respond, it confirms something. Others argue she doesn't owe anyone an explanation about her body. Both sides are loud, both sides think they're right. And let's keep it real. This conversation reveals more about the audience than it does about Cardi. We live in a culture where women are rewarded for altering their bodies, then punished when those same bodies age, shift, or respond to gravity, especially Black women, especially women in rap, especially women who dared to win loudly. So here we are, Cardi B on the brink of a major tour, not being discussed for her catalog, her stage presence, or her grind, but for how her body allegedly looks in rehearsal clips. And as this narrative grows legs online, one question keeps hovering. Here's the uncomfortable truth people don't want to hear. A lot of fans don't actually want growth or longevity from female artists. They want a frozen image. Same body, same proportions, same illusion. Touring, childbirth, stress, age, none of that is allowed to show. The minute it does, folks start screaming, "Fix it," like she's a broken appliance. That's not concern, that's entitlement. And comparing Cardi to Bia, that tells you everything. It's not even about who looks better. It's about using another woman as a warning label. You better tighten up or you'll end up looking like her. That's foul behavior. That's how women get pitted against each other while the system that profits off their bodies stays untouched and unchallenged. But wait, there's more. This obsession with bodies over performance exposes a bigger issue in hip-hop culture. Male rappers can show up out of breath, miss lyrics, gain weight, lose stamina, and still get grace. Meanwhile, women are expected to dance like athletes, look like Instagram filters, and never show physical strain. That double standard is loud, and Cardi is just the latest target. And let's also be very clear. Touring is brutal. Rehearsals are brutal. Your body will look different under that kind of physical demand. Muscles swell, posture changes, fat redistributes. None of that automatically equals something is wrong. But social media doesn't care about physiology. It cares about virality, and bodies make great clickbait. What's wild is that Cardi has been openly grinding for this tour, rehearsing day and night, pushing herself, actually doing the work. And instead of that being the headline, people are zooming in on her backside like it's a medical chart. That's the price of visibility, but it's also proof that we're more invested in tearing women down than celebrating their effort. And let's talk accountability, because this cuts both ways. If fans truly cared about performance quality, the conversation would be about stamina training, choreography design, or pacing, not surgery rumors. Jumping straight to get a new BBL shows how normalized body modification has become as a solution instead of a choice. That's dangerous, especially for younger women watching. The broader lesson here is simple but uncomfortable. Celebrity culture doesn't just reflect society, it amplifies its worst habits. Unrealistic beauty standards, misogyny dressed up as critique, and the constant policing of women's bodies. This didn't start with Cardi, and it won't end with her. But every time we participate, we keep the machine running. So the real question isn't, does Cardi need a new BBL? The real question is why people feel so comfortable diagnosing, dissecting, and demanding changes from a woman they don't know, all while calling it fandom. That's not support, that's consumption. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think fans are genuinely worried about performance quality, or is this just another case of the internet doing what it always does, overanalyzing women's bodies and calling it critique? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it all the way to the end, you already know what to do. Be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and stay locked in, because it's gossip culture back at it again, and we're not running out of things to talk about anytime soon.